fucking free time on their hands. And Alaska... Shit. Oh, hold on. So, basically, too many people have fucking free time on their hands. An Alaska man was arrested after drugs were found in spoiled goat guts. Kind of disgusting, but yeah. An Alaska man found with $400,000 in illegal drugs hidden in spilled goat intestines at an airport has been arrested. I'm not sure how you say the first name, but his name is spelled C-E-N-E-N. The last name looks like Palencia of Kodiak was arrested Wednesday at Anchorage. Anchorage is the international airport. Authorities said investigators with Alaska State Troopers searched a large fish box. The 71-year-old man had checked as luggage, according to an affidavit filed with the charges. Palencia gave his consent to search, according to the affidavit signed by a special agent with the Coast Guard Investigative Service. Inside the box was loosely wrapped frozen meat with multiple small pieces of meat frozen together, according to the affidavit, which Palencia consented to the meat being thawed for further investigation. Investigators smelled the odor of rotting meat as it thawed, and a police dog detected the presence of drugs, the affidavit says. Before the meat finished thawing, Palencia withdrew his consent for a search, prompting authorities to obtain a search warrant, the court document says. Resuming the search, investigators found packages wrapped in plastic that contained about 740 grams of heroin and 389 grams of crystal meth. Palencia had been heading back to Kodiak when he was arrested, initially booking a morning flight and later rebooking for a late afternoon flight. Before that flight departed, however, Palencia agreed to be interviewed. He told investigators he packed the bag himself and denied knowing about the drugs. Why do I find that hard to believe? According to the affidavit, Palencia told investigators he had purchased the goat intestines for about $140 from a California rancher for his own consumption, the affidavit says. Palencia was taken into custody at the Anchorage jail, trooper said. A message left late Friday afternoon at the Federal Public Defender Agency was not immediately returned. Palencia was arraigned on Friday on charges of possession with intent to distribute controlled substances. The troopers said authorities began investigating Palencia in February. In March, authorities served search warrants at Palencia's Kodiak home, and also at his home they seized about 247 grams of heroin and 13 grams of crystal meth, according to troopers. The affidavit says nearly $2,280 in suspected drug proceeds was also seized at the home in March, the affidavit says. Those drugs are not included in the current charges, said Assistant U.S. Attorney Christina Sherman. The investigation continues, she said.